Thulasizwe Thomo, at only 34 years old, has been sworn in as the MEC for Public Works, Roads and Transport. He's the youngest member of the Mpumalanga legislature. Now, during the swearing-in ceremony, Premier Mandla Ndlovu indicated that they will strengthen the capacity of the infrastructure department. This is to invest in the province. Thomo is joining me in studio right now. Thank you so much for joining us, MEC. First of all, congratulations are in order. So you've essentially hit the ground running, but just give us a bit of a background as to how you got into politics.
No, thanks, Claude. Thanks for having us here, and thanks for the congratulatory messages. Let me first start by congratulating all young people that have been sworn into the echelons of power, particularly the different legislatures across the country, particularly one of my friends, Comrade Tony, who has been appointed in the same portfolio in Limpopo, and other young people that have been appointed. I joined the struggle at the age of 14 years. I'm from Lothe, in a poverty-stricken area. So I was actually, I grew up realizing and looking into things that are affecting our people, the socio-economic issues, the poverty that our people are continue to ravage them, the challenges that the country is confronted with them. So I therefore joined the African National Congress, believing that the policies of the African National Congress are the right policies which seeks to transform the country and also empower people for them to live better life.
And just looking at this new government right now, so much has been said around representation when we look at young people. Do you think we've advanced enough to ensure that we have conversations about having young people such as yourself in these positions?
Well, I think we have not done sufficiently in ensuring that we put young people into the levers of power. But we need to applaud all progressive youth formations, particularly the ANC Youth League recently. I heard the president of the ANC Youth League, Comrade Colin, is still pushing and is not satisfied. But we have managed to inject a number of young people into the levers of power. I was the chair of the ANC Youth League in Mpumalanga at some point. We tried to put a number of young people into the echelons of power, but I think we have not done sufficiently in that aspect as the country. I believe that this GNU is going to ensure that part of the cabinet that is going to be constituted by the president, which is going to be announced at any time from now, I think it's going to would be composed by a number of young people. We have the comrades such as Zuko Godlimpi, Nongleba, who I believe they are capable, they deserve to be part of that cabinet.
And now the portfolio that you've been given is quite a significant one. And I think just off camera, you were telling me that you've essentially hit the ground running. What are some of your top priorities?
Yesterday, I met with both the Premier, who happens to be the former MEC of the department, to do some kind of an official handover. Part of what we have agreed about was that there are a number of projects that are not complete in the province. Some of the priorities are that we need to, within 100 days, complete some of these projects, which are part of the branches which are within the department, because the department is clustered in different branches. You have your social infrastructure, transport infrastructure, administration, and so on and so forth. So there's one that is attracting unnecessary media attention now, which we need to get into the space. The one of fresh produce market, the parliamentary village, and other projects that were actually implemented by my predecessors.
And speaking of inherited projects, right, it also comes with its own challenges and also obstacles that you will be faced with. Talk to us about some of those, and what are some of those problems that you'll be inheriting in this portfolio?
Well, currently, the road infrastructure seems to be the headache in the department. A certain portion of our province is littered with potholes. So after the meeting of myself and the Premier yesterday, I met with the senior management as part of meet and greet. This is one thing that we have agreed to say we need to solve and expedite the process of insourcing, having our own internal capacity as a department, particularly attracting young people who are skilled in ensuring that we deal with potholes in Mpumalanga. So that is one thing which is our priority and which is currently a challenge.
And let's talk about your views now on the government of national unity. It's been the hot potato throughout the course of the week. Actually, as we came back from these all-important elections, what's your take on that?
Look, I think Comrade Mtumseni is trying to explain these things simple for everyone in the country, which I do agree with him. We should support, as people of South Africa, this government of national unity for a number of reasons. One, which is political stability. Two, because we are speaking about social ills that are affecting young people, which is poverty, unemployment, and so on. I believe that this GNU, if it's being supported and we bring everyone on board, including business, in a form of social compact, I strongly believe that we are going to unlock the economy of the country and young people are going to be empowered and employed. So I strongly believe that a patriotic South African should support this government. It's a government that I believe is going to assist us. Let's set aside our different perspective in terms of our political alignment and ideological analysis in terms of how we want to look South Africa in the future.
But also, how do we make youth empowerment something that is ongoing, something that happens 365 days a year? Because this is seemingly a conversation that we stop and start every youth month. And although there are some plans to empower the youth, there are these grand plans every year, year in, year out. How do we move it to becoming something that is done 365 days to also see some of those efforts as well as plans trickle out to the ground where it matters the most?
Look, I strongly believe that the scientific evidence that we have in the country shows us that a significant portion of the population are young people. Until our government and ourselves now, who are part of this government, leading this government, have a certain portion and a set aside majority of the stake to young people, that's how we're going to empower young people. I do agree with you. I've led the Youth League, like I'm saying to you, until we're disbanded. I was the chair of the province of the Youth League in Mpumalanga. Until we make it deliberate as government that part of our agenda is to, it should be compulsory that part of our agenda, we empower young people from day 1 of January up until to the last day of December, each and every. It should not be that it's only June that we speak about issues of young people. It should be our daily bread. Every minute we must speak about these young people because it's a time ticking bomb. I was earlier today going through X. I came across an article from one of your media houses about young people who have taken out to streets in Kenya. Which is more similar to the Arab Spring. So I think we need to be quick as this government and ensure that we avoid this time ticking bomb. Young people should be in our agenda from day 1 of January up until to the last day of the year.
Yeah, so let's talk about your efforts, your part. What part are you playing to ensure that young people enjoy the fruits of 30 years of democracy, especially when we look at the position that you are occupying right now? There's the sense sometimes that when people are appointed into certain positions, they forget about the people that they represent as well. So what are you doing on your part? Talk to us about that.
Yesterday when we met with the administration, which is the administration that I strongly believe is seasoned administration of public works in Mpumalanga, led by HOD Morolo, we have agreed in principle to say everything that we do as a department, it should prioritize young people, particularly young people whom we believe that are qualified and are going to transform the state to be a capable state. So we have agreed. Part of what I was saying to you earlier in relation to the road infrastructure potholes, we have agreed that we need to rope in those that went to colleges to source skills as engineers and so on and so forth. There are posts that are already vacant, about 43. They must be immediately advertised in Mpumalanga. Then we absorb these young people whom are going to be qualified. So that is where we are. We have a number of programs, your internships and so on and so forth as the department. But like I was saying to you offline, that part of what we're doing, for now, they are empowering me with the information and other things that the department is doing for young people, which are there are many. So I strongly believe that we are going to turn the corner correct as the people of Mpumalanga, and young people of Mpumalanga should be absorbed within the space of public works.
And tell you what, we will be tracking developments on this portfolio that you've just taken up now, and certainly looking forward to as well seeing what you would have done, maybe say in about 100 days in office or so. But thank you so much, MEC Thulasizwe Thomo, for joining us right here on the program. Thank you very much for your time.